Welcome to episode 2 of I'm Doing Well. This is my podcast. We made it to week 2. Look at that. Consistent upload schedule. That's what I'm known for. I wish, no, actually I don't wish I was known for that, because then you gotta live up to that reputation, you know? That's the motto in life, you know? Set... I hate that I'm even joking about this. Set expectations low so that, you know, anytime you do the bare minimum, people are like, wow, hey, look at you. Man. See, I talked about it last week, how I think about, you know, I do these rough drafts. Not rough drafts. That seems even more official than it is. I, am in the shower or I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm laying in bed. And I start doing these podcasts to myself, and they always go, pretty well. And then I get behind the mic, tap, tap, and, last week, this week, did not go how I expected it to go. Last week, I made a joke about hiding a body in a river, and the reason I took so many pauses, by the way, last week, is because I kept debating in my head. I was like, should I make this joke? Because right when I started talking, I realized that's where I was going to go. But then there were a lot of pauses because I was like, oh, I shouldn't say it. And then I did. And then this week, you see, I tried to stop myself from joking about, setting low expectations, but then I did it. So, man, as you can see, I'm in the holiday attire. And as you can see, my project is out that I talked about last week. I made a music video. Woo. And it was really, really well received. I'm really glad that people liked it. Because, anytime I get to the end of making something, I hate it. So I'm glad that you guys liked it. That's a joke, but it's also very much not a joke. I tell this to everyone I talk to whenever they bring up my videos and just like, oh, that must be so cool or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you like your videos? And I'm like, wow, that's a really specific question. This is what I tell everyone. I say, well, every single one of my videos at some point in its lifespan is hated by me because I work on it so much and I see this thing so many times that I just hate it by the end of it. I've just sucked it dry of everything. I don't find any of my videos funny, I think, anymore. Because those jokes I hear them so many times. Even some of those jokes I'll tell once, and I'm like, ah, man, I'm so glad we're done with that. But then I gotta edit that. Oh, man. That's the worst. Editing. I remember I ran into this guy. I would love to tell this story. This is easily one of my favorite stories from Davis. But I can't tell it because it's so specific. I'm afraid this person might hear me talk about this. I don't want to give any. There's too many specific details in the story to where I can't tell it. So I will tell you one of my favorite parts from the story. This person had told me that they wanted to start a YouTube channel. Or actually, they had already started a YouTube channel, but they were looking to pursue it further. And they told me that they were flirting with this idea. And I was like, oh, wow, you're confiding in me. I guess, look at us, huh? I just met the person. So this, we're leaps and bounds, just right off the bat. And this person tells me, oh yeah, I think I might get back into it. I was like, hey, you should. I'll never shoot down a creative idea unless it's bad. And then I'll pop that shit. I'm just kidding. I try to encourage all creative ideas because I think that's a very healthy thing to do. I don't know. I've met people that have shot down creative ideas, and they're my least favorite people to be around. So I try to be nothing like those people because I want to be around people I like. And if I don't like those people at all, I'm only what 5 minutes into this and we're drinking water. I don't think I drank any water last time. Look at me, huh? It's anyways, yeah, I don't get how people shoot down creative ideas. That's insane to me. Unless, of course, it's like objectively bad. But it's like, man, that's a tough conversation because it's like an argument for something being a bad idea could be like, well, no one does that. Like, that'll never work. No one's ever done that. But then by saying that, you're saying that, you're losing the chance at doing this original idea, being one of a kind. But then there also might be a reason why no one's done it. Because it is a bad idea. So it's, man, it's tough. It's tough. You encourage an idea to a healthy point. There's a point when you might need to call it. But then you hear the success stories and then you see the point where they should have called it and then they keep going. They persevere. Damn, that's tough. But this person, they say, I think I'm going to, do this YouTube thing. And I said, yeah, you should. Hell yeah. And he was like, I just said he. Damn it. I gave away the pronoun. Shit. Okay. This is a guy. Damn it. Okay. Take another drink of water. I'm sorry. He says, I don't know though. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm like, what's stopping you? What's so bad? He's like, well, you see, the thing is, love being behind camera, right? Like, you record the thing, it's awesome. Like, I can do that all the time. I'm super good on camera. He said that. And I said, oh, okay. So what's up? And then he's like, I don't know. I just like, if I could only do that part, that'd be awesome. And I was like, oh. And this sounds mean because you need to hear the whole story and then it makes sense why I said this. I'm justifying why I was mean. And then when he was like, yeah, I like being in front of the camera. That's, if I could just do that, that'd be great. I responded and said, oh, because you don't want to edit because that's the hardest part and you don't want to take, actually do the hard work to make a good product, huh? I know it was, if you heard the full story, that was very mild, what I said. I should have said something way worse. Anyways, but he was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't want to edit. That's just like, it's not my thing. And in my head, I was like, dude, it's no one's fucking thing. Editing sucks. No, I don't get there's probably people that like editing because, there's people that like tomatoes in the world. So, a lot of people making mistakes out there. But I was like, yeah, no one likes editing. Okay, everyone wants to be the superstar in front of the camera. That is the easy part. Because like a YouTube video, you record for like an hour, that's it. But then it's the editing that takes just like, days, weeks, whatever. And so, I don't know why I remember that story, but editing sucks. Editing sucks so much. I made a terrible mistake. I have started caring about this podcast. I shouldn't have. I should not have. The thing is, I thought these were going to be really bad, and I still do think it's pretty low quality, but I watched my first episode, I'm not going to lie, probably like 6 times. I watched it like twice before I put it out, and then I put it out, and then I watched it like 4 times. I don't know why I do it, but when I post a video, I watch it so many times right after I post it, as if that's going to somehow make it better. It doesn't make any sense. But I watched it like 4 times, and by the end of my viewing, excursion, I was like, oh, you know what? I actually kind of like that. That wasn't too bad, actually. And so now I am scared to record this podcast because I think it needs to hit this level of quality that the first one hit. But I need to remind myself that this is supposed to be bad. And so, I can't fall into that same hole I keep falling into with content where I care too much about it. That's the thing, You gotta set expectations low and then actually strive to only meet those expectations. That's such a stupid thing. I got a Dunder Mifflin glass because I am a college student and the office is about 40% of my personality. Anyone in their 20s, how the turntables, that's what she said. I really like The Office. I get when people are like, come on, that's like a really big part of, your personality. Maybe do something else. I get that sentiment when people say it. But I'll admit, The Office is a really good show. Here I am just... I'm so glad. By the way, I'm so relieved that I addressed that this podcast is supposed to be bad because... Wow, this one is bad. Holy shit. Man. What are we, 12 minutes? I addressed the time again. Let's talk about the project, because that's the thing I wanted to talk about. I don't even need to call it a project anymore. Let's talk about the music video, peeps. I unironically said peeps. That's gotta hurt. I made a music video for Christmas. I did not post on YouTube for 5 weeks because I was really just committing all my time to that. And I also had school. That old thing. School. Anyways, we did this project. Let me tell you the backstory. If you listen to this, I think you would care. No one cares about this, but if you're listening to my podcast, you obviously care more than anyone else. So I'll tell you, because apparently you care. By the way, last time I checked, I can't talk, which is very important for a podcast, being able to talk. Last I checked, first episode, 170 views. What? Holy shit. That's way more than I expected. To be honest, if we're being honest, I was it'll probably get 5 likes, maybe 50 views. So we, guys, we tripled it in all regards. Look at us. We did it. But the thing is, the person that recorded this music video for me, Alex Fisher Wagner. If you go to Davis, there's a good chance you know him, but he's a friend of mine. He's a year older than me. I met him because when I came to Davis, he was really the only person at UC Davis making YouTube videos. There were a couple of others like Hamashi, Himshi Mama is her YouTube channel. And then, Abrion. Abrion's a year older than me. She still does YouTube. Her YouTube name was Abrion TV. She just recently changed it to Abrion. Now she has a second channel, Abrion Weinberg, which is her full name. I don't think you care about this. I know one of these episodes will be dedicated to the Davis YouTube scene. I don't like to call it. That sounds weird. There's a lot of YouTubers at Davis, and I've met, I think, probably 90% of them. And I'd love to talk about the history behind that, because I'm now a 4th year, which is still crazy. I'm technically a senior. So I've seen, all the people come through that do YouTube. And by the way, I don't know if I've ever talked about this in a video. Some people are like, so you're 4th year, what are you looking forward to that? I'm doing 5 years. I just took some internships in the past few years, And so I've taken like some reduced workloads in some quarters. That's not like an official thing, like a reduced workload. That's not an official thing. I just took like less classes than I would have because I was doing some internships. And so that kind of like pushed my classes out a little bit. And I changed majors. So that was like another thing, little thing. I went from computer engineering to electrical engineering. So there were like, some electrical courses I needed to now take. So it's all pushed it back to now. I'm going to do a 5th year. So this isn't my last year, if you were under that impression. Anyways, Alex Fisher Wagner is the one who recorded this music video. And he asked me on, I think, it was our last day of shooting. I remember we were on our way to take the last shot, which is ironic because the last shot was a shot. The scene in the music video where his girlfriend, Catherine, is actually the one holding the needle. As we're driving to his place to do that's the last shot. By the way, I want to say about those needles. I actually have them. I have them right here. I went on Amazon to buy all my props. Went on Amazon to buy all my props, and I looked up, medical needles because I needed one for the flu shot. And I looked it up, and it said $13. I was like, $13 for one needle? Like, all right. It was disposable. I'm like, you just use it and then get rid of it? I'm like, all right, well, I guess, they just don't want people getting a hold of needles. That might be bad. So I was like, maybe that's why they pumped up the price. But then I get the needles in the mail, and it's a pack of 25. I bought 25 medical needles. 1 milliliter Luer lock syringe with needles. About 25 needles off of Amazon for $13. So, now I just have 24 needles. Anyways, Alex asked me as we're driving to his place for the last shot, so are you going to do this every year? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, are you going to make a music video every year? Like, is this going to be our thing? And I was like, well, I don't even know, because the idea actually for this music video, I told him, was instant. Like, it wasn't like I was thinking about this for a long time. When I first really started thinking about this music video was the night before the first day of school, the night before the first day of fall quarter. I listened to Christmas music starting in September. I know that might be wrong. I'm sure I could get in trouble with certain people if they found out my methods. But I started listening to Christmas music in like September and like beginning of October, but then I go cold turkey, like second half of October, November, and then December is a little variable, but I'll get to that. So I start listening to Christmas music the day before the first day of school, because I want to be in a feel-good mood, and that's what Christmas music is great for. And so I start listening to music, and I start like making joke lyrics to some of them, and then I start imagining like, me in scenes with certain songs. I don't know if you do this, but this is one of my favorite activities, and sometimes I do it by accident. But I'll play music, and then I'll imagine what's happening with that music. Like, I'll create a movie around the music. I'll essentially like make that the soundtrack to some like made up movie in my head. It's one of the best things ever. You should try it if you've never tried it. Listen to music and then just out loud start telling the story of what's happening. I love doing it. But I start, doing this, creating stories in my head of these songs, and I'm like, all right, we can do this. I actually think, I could maybe create a story with one of these songs. So I picked which song I think could be sung by an a cappella group, because I was talking to my friend Alum, who I gave a shout out to last week, and I realized I said shout out to Alum, and then I just went on this tangent about friends, and I never actually told you why I'm shouting out Alum. I shout out Alum because he's a friend of mine. He's 2 years younger than me. Yes. And he goes to UC Davis. And I had him help me write this. I needed him to sing something for me. And he's part of this a cappella group for UC Davis called the Lounge Lizards. And he was telling me how you can hire the Lounge Lizards to do a gig for you for $20. I was like, wait, like $20 like every half hour, like for every person? He was like, no, just any gig you want us to show up, we'll sing $20. I was like, that is extremely cheap, but I needed to use this service, so I didn't tell him quite yet, you know? No, I did. I said it straight to his face. I was like, you realize you guys are lowballing the shit out of yourself, right? Like you can and you should charge way more, but no creative person knows their own worth. So it's important for you to tell them because they will never charge what they should. And then some charge way more than they should, but we'll, you can scope those people out. You can sniff them out. Man, can I just say, it is so goddamn hot right now. I'm wearing this 32-degree shirt. Man, it's supposed to keep you, like, hot. Or, no one says that. Clothes don't keep you hot. I'm not a burrito. This isn't like the foil you put around it. This keeps you warm. And then I have a sweatshirt. And, those keep you warm. And then I got this jacket, which just, by the nature of it, I'm a bit toasty. And this hat, oh my God, I don't know if you've ever worn a Santa hat. This shit is like toasty. But we're doing it for the holidays. I'm most likely gonna have to take this off. It's so hot. Oh my God. It's an uncomfortable amount of toasty. It's like if I went to a sandwich shop and they like burnt it a little bit, just a little too toasty, I used to equate a Santa hat to a burnt sub. Anyways, I was talking to Alum and he was like, yeah, you can hire us for $20. I was like, you know what? I might hit you up for that. You guys do remote stuff? He's like, absolutely. And so I was like, all right, bet. Kids say that. It means like, I, or like, it just means like, all right, actually. It just means like, anyway, I'm going to be such a shitty person in my midlife. What did I just say? I'm basically saying when I'm an adult, I'm gonna be that person that doesn't know how to use slang that the youngins are using. The youth. Because okay. Let's. What the fuck am I saying? Let's move on. And so the night before school started, actually, I guess you could say the morning that school started, I wrote this song in 45 minutes. I wrote all of the lyrics in 45 minutes. I think it was like 2 a.m. to 2:45. Actually, I think that's right. Because I think it was like at 2:40. I remember messaging Alum. And I was like, yo, I think you like inspired me a lot. Just, working on our last thing that I think, I want to do this Christmas thing. And he's like, awesome. That sounds great. And so I met with, he was like, you should email the Lizards because it has to go through like their official business, whoever's like the business person in the club. So a couple days later, I emailed them. They got back to me very, very promptly. The Lounge Lizards, some of the most responsive amphibians. Nope, wait, amphibians are different than reptiles, right? And a lizard is... Who knows? They are some of the most active amphibians on the... Nope, they're definitely reptiles. Scales, right? They're some of the most responsive reptiles in the biz. I tell you what. because they got back to me very quick. They always do. I remember one time they responded to one of my emails in 7 minutes, which is actually probably just luck because, they probably check their email and they're like, oh, that's cool. This guy just sent us one, so I can just respond. But they could have put it off to the next day. So, you got to give them props where props are due. Anyways, they respond to me very quickly. The next week, I meet with Alum and 3 other people from the club, the president, G-Man, and then Sean and Sophie. 3 of the sweetest people ever. And Alum. Alum's also sweet, but I'm saying we've already, in our story, we've already met the character that is Alum. So now I'm saying the 3 new characters, G-Man, Sean, Sophie, very sweet too. So now all 4 of our characters, all very sweet. So they're like, yeah, we can absolutely do this. They get back, they're like, when do you need it by? I was like, I'm not going to shoot till probably December. So let's say Thanksgiving. Because when I did my music video last year, the guy that made my music, Abhe, the best, by the way, is Abhe, Telemachus on Instagram. That's also his Spotify, Telemachus. Nicest guy ever. Funny too. I love, it's the perfect combo. Funny and into music and nice. Those are the people I try to surround myself with. If you tell jokes and you appreciate music and you're just nice, you're, what is that word? Affable. Yes. If you're funny, you're nice. Nope. If you're funny, you're into music and you're affable. The best. Oh my God. I want you around me at all times. But I told Abe last year, I was like, Thanksgiving, let's put a due date then. And it worked out last year, so I was like, let's rinse and repeat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now I'm thinking about someone naming their dog Broke, and then they take it to a vet and they're like, we'd like to, fix this dog. Oh, no. Oh, okay. So you name your dog Ain't Broke, you take it to a vet, and then the vet would be like, well, we can't fix your dog because it ain't broke. That... Man, that... You just got to see my brain work through a joke. I'm going to need to... Actually, it's recorded. I was like, I'm going to write that down, but it's recorded, so that's perfect. And I'm going to watch this, 18 times, so I'll definitely get to write it down later. What was I talking about? This is so dope. Yes, I'm back in it. See, starting it, hardest part. Once I'm in it, I feel good. I know this is bad, which is perfect. It also sucks because you guys left such... I'm about to say it sucks that you guys were so nice. Only nice things from you guys about this podcast, which is... I can't believe it. I used to have a series on my channel, on my YouTube channel, Gauruv Virk, called Wilt. It was a series I did every week, and it stood for What I Learned Today. And the whole premise was every weekday I talk about something I learned that day. And it was mostly just to be funny. I'm not going to tell you what I learned in class, some calc, theorem or formula or some bullshit like that. I would tell you, oh yeah, I found out, what was a fun thing? Oh, one of the first things I did, I think it was the Friday of my first wilt, was why cows stay together. And I think it was just to stay warm. I think that was the thing. And so I made some joke. I forgot. I probably made some joke with that. But that was a whole series. And I remember when I was making wilts, I would get really, really happy if in... Oh, I don't want to... Oh, wait, no. I'm an idiot. Okay. Oh, but I called it. See, the camera did turn off right there. The thing is, the audio is separate from the video. So I was like, also, I look very orange all of a sudden. I don't know why that is. All right, we're gonna roll with it. Did I always look like this? Okay. Me in the mirror. Just, oh man. Oh boy. I went out today and I looked like that? Ooh. Anyways, I've now jumped around from 3 different topics. So sorry. But let's try to get back to where we were. My wilts. I would get so this is terrible. Oh, I was saying like I didn't want to like get into an idea and then have the camera shut off, but it's like that doesn't matter if the camera shuts off because like the audio will just keep going. I'll just put a little transition. I don't need to talk about it. Also, that's very interesting. That means we're 30 minutes in. I only have 14 minutes left in this podcast. Oh my God. Guys, you got to keep me on topic here. I had a series on my channel called Wilt, and I've now said that sentence so many times. God, I know. I hit the table. Sorry. Oh man. And I remember if a Wilt had hit 100 views in the first week, I was over the moon, ecstatic. Let's see. Oh, I actually have a word for that. I've been reading. I try to read because I think it's really, really good. I say reading's really, really good. I'm reading so I don't say stuff like really, really good because I would like to have a word for that. But I remember if I hit 100 views in a week, I was exultant. It means triumphantly happy. So if I hit 100 views in a week, I was exultant. And now I've become jaded because I'm like, oh, if it doesn't get the, X amount of views in however much time, the X is greater than 100. But if it doesn't get that in the first 24 hours, like, oh, it wasn't a good video, which is ridiculous. But it's crazy to think that now, what is it, 3 years after I was hoping Wilts, with all the editing that I put into it, 3 years after that, the thing that I hope would get 100 views in a week, I now have a podcast that it got, almost, I guess, 200 views in a week. And I think it got 100 views in the first day, which is crazy because it's just me saying nothing of importance. So, thank you, for being so cool, but also, hey, what the hell? Why, why are you making this successful? Now because I have to care about it. Why couldn't you have just let this crumble? What? Why are you propping this up? It's your fault. Don't pin this on me. It's your fault. You shouldn't have listened to it. Oh man. Anyways, I worked with the Lounge Lizards and I worked with Alum really closely. I remember one night we had like a 9-hour call. About 6 of those hours we were just screwing around, but for 3 hours we were really nailing the music, getting it better. And yeah, shout out to the Lounge Lizards and shout out to Alum because he made the new banner on my YouTube channel. It's blue and it says Gauruv Virk. It's got like a camera, super dope. The actual like icon of me though, the cartoon of me, that was made by some guy on Fiverr that was from, I think, Slovakia. That guy's super cool. I was his first client, which is dope. It only cost, this icon that's on this channel, only cost $5, but I was his first client. I wanted him to like keep going. So I tipped him $20 just because I'm like, you got to keep doing this. Also, I might come back to him. And so I want to, make sure he's still there. So I'm like, hey, take this money, you deserve it. He also deserves it. He really deserves it because the original, okay. So this is ridiculous. This is what that icon, this cartoon version of me used to look like. I'm going to have to edit on my podcast, which sucks, but here's what it started as. And then it transformed into this. So we did a bunch of revisions and Alum kind of helped with that too, because he would give me suggestions when we were on the call. And he was like, you should make your pupils a little bigger. And then he would like draw it on his own end. I would send it to the guy from Slovakia. It was super dope. Anyways, Shout out to Alum. Shout out to the Lizards. Shout out to Alex Fisher Wagner. Man, I'm not going to get to talk about the music video at all because I've just been... What have I even been talking about? Isn't that crazy? I don't even know what the fuck I've been talking about. Man. I've been getting compliments on the jacket. I just want to say thank you. I asked my mom, I called her after the video went live. I said, you're really the only one that I can ask this to. But I was like, does it make sense now? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I've just been ordering weird shit off of Amazon for a month. But now you see like where they fell into place. And she's like, yes, exactly. And she was like, I gotta admit, when I first saw this jacket, she was like, God, what is he doing? It's not gonna look good. And then she was like, I watched the video. Looks good. I was like, yeah, thank you so much. That's the other thing. I was supposed to wear a Christmas sweater on this podcast because I have like 4 or 5 Christmas sweaters at home. This is Davis. This isn't like my home. This is my second home. Oh, he said Davis is his second. I know. Oh, it's so sentimental. Oh man, I don't get. Anyways, that's the cynical part of me seeping through. I was gonna say like I don't get how people are like, oh, my college, that's my second home, but I get it. You know, what if you have a shitty home, and then you're like, you find these people that let you find happiness in life, and then you were able to succeed in your college home, and it really does. It's a net gain in your life, and it's all better. So it is truly your second home, and actually competes with your first home, but. I'm just a negative Nelly, so I don't see it that way. Oh man. Anyways, I was supposed to be home. I'm not, obviously. Here I am. Last week I mentioned it was my birthday on Saturday. I woke up Saturday. By the way, some people have asked, I shouldn't admit this, but some people ask me, oh, like, what'd you do on your birthday? And I'm like, hey, are you a backpack? Because you gotta hop all the way the fuck off my back. Okay? Mind your own business. Some people ask me, what'd you do for your birthday? I can tell you that day, I'll just break down that day. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. on December 19th, Saturday, which was my birthday. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. I woke up at, I think, 2:30 p.m. I called 2 people, and then I went back to sleep, woke up at 10 p.m., and then called my mom. That was my whole birthday. And one of the people I called at 2:30 p.m. was my mom. And I told her, hey, I was around Alex and Kat for the past 3 days. I should get tested before I come home. And the thing is, Alex and I recorded for 3 days, and the music wasn't done yet. There were still revisions that needed to be done, and Alan was working on his own projects, and, he'd just gotten off of finals because it was finals week last week. And so he was a little busy during, the end of last week. So I still needed to work with him. And so the plan for Alex and I was, record Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I was going to go home Saturday, Sunday, Monday, for my birthday and everything. And then he was going to be free Tuesday, and Alan was going to have the music done by Tuesday. So Alex was like, then come back to Davis Tuesday, pop it out in a day. I'm completely free that day. I'm not doing anything else. But I woke up on the 19th, and I was like, it's not smart for me to go home. I was around Alex and Kat, and we were being safe, mask, whenever we were close to each other. But I was like, we're going to get a vaccine soon. It'd be stupid, so stupid to risk anything at this point. So I was like, let me just stay in Davis. It's nice. I like it here, I get to, watch YouTube videos. You can do that anywhere. But I get to, work on videos and, edit and just... I really, really do like being alone. That might be surprising, because I've been accused. Yes, I've been accused of being an extrovert. It's unbelievable. I went to dinner with these two girls last year. I think it was probably like 10 months ago. Nope, that can't be right. Because that was February. It was probably like 11 months ago. I think it was January. I went to dinner with these two girls, and this one girl was like, you know, I forgot what it was, but she said something's easier for me because I'm an extrovert. I said, well, I'm not. Wait, what do you mean I'm an extrovert? I was like, I'm very much an introvert. I'm so much of an introvert that in 7th grade, my social studies teacher gifted me a book about why introverts should feel accepted in society. And that's like the first time I realized, that's when I learned what an introvert was, because she was like, you're one of those. And I was like, what? And it, what do you mean? And then she explained these things. And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And she was like, okay, that's an introvert. And I was like, oh. I don't know why we're putting labels on all this, but but yeah, I really, like, I recharge when I'm alone. I get, I do not, I like people, but I really like being alone. But this girl had said, accused me of being an extrovert because I asked her, I was like, why do you think I'm an extrovert? And she said, well, you tell jokes. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? And she's like, well, I mean, telling a joke is putting yourself out there. And so you only, tell jokes, so you're constantly putting yourself out there. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing to think about. I don't know if I believe that or not, but that's what's up. Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about like my birthday or something. I should plan these. By the way, didn't talk about the music video at all. And this episode's almost over, isn't it? 3 minutes. Oh my god. I also, you can tell, I got more rest for this one. I'm talking much faster than my last one. I think can't talk. I think I liked episode 1 better than this. I'm sorry. This was bad. Man, I don't even know how did I get that? I'm so sorry. I started a story and I don't remember what it was, so you won't get to hear the end of it. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, we have about 2 minutes left, so housekeeping. Housekeeping. Let's do it. Thank you for the support on episode 1. I understand that there will not be as much support on episode 2 because of the nature of a sequel and because this was just bad. So, but I do not want to discredit your support. So thank you so much for the support. I do see it and makes me happy. That didn't sound genuine at all. That I don't know how to show emotions. I'm sure we'll get to that in a future episode. My struggle with emotions. I am the coldest person I know. Actually, no, that's the thing. I'm not cold. I'm definitely not cold because it's fucking so hot in this in this outfit. Anyways, I got enough sleep. That's why I think I'm talking more, and this is how I am. I apologize. I don't think I'm cold. But I don't know how to convey. I don't know how to convey my emotions. There it is. There we go. And with that is, oh man, this is like when you go to therapy. I've never been to therapy, but this is like you're going to therapy, and then you like hit this breakthrough, and then your therapist is like, all right, and that's all the time we have for today. So we'll wrap it up there. I hit this big breakthrough, and I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna peace out now. Hope you like that. I got this for my birthday last year, by the way. My friend Andrew Hoyer gave it to me. Great guy. Great guy. Mm. Man, it's great. And I also have this, this and this. They're both water. So this is my first drink, and this is kind of like, I guess you would say, second drink. Shout out to all my Office fans. I'll see you next week. And yeah, that's my time. Bye.